Welcome to Forever Home Van Build. I hope you enjoy our series. Hi everyone, so I've been bouncing around a little bit on this van. Weather, availability of a few bits that I need. It's nothing that you can't do, so don't feel like you have to do it regimentally, step by step. Clearly there'll be some steps that you need to do before others, and there'll also be some that you need to finish before you can start the next. So bear them in mind. But as far as insulating is concerned, that's where I'm currently at. But I need to bear in mind that I need to put in some first fix electrics. I'll need to cut some holes, windows, ceiling vent, access for solar and alike. So I can do some insulating, but I can't finish insulating until I've done those bits that I need to do. Now I know my layout, so I've got a fair idea of where certain things are going to go, so I can work around that when I'm insulating. But I just wanted to show you where I'm at in regards to the installation and some of that decisions that I'm making. I've done the floor, you'll have seen that before. I haven't boarded completely the floor yet, because I do just need to run along some of the 12mm ply that I've been using for the floor with an extra new piece, but I've bought a saw and I'm waiting for that to arrive so it can do a very neat job. That'll be here in a day or two, so I can finish that. And then as far as the walls are concerned, so I have put that first layer of sticky foam insulation onto the outer skin as best I can, and there's lots of places where you can't get, but it does go in all the places that I can, but I've run out, so I've ordered some more, but there's a little bit left to do. So the back doors, above the cab, I've got to do the wheel arches, etc. So I'm waiting on that, but while I wait on that, I'm just going to do some of the PIR insulation in the walls. Now I'm using 50mm. Some people do it, some people don't. I'll post in the description a few example videos. As you know, I'm not here to teach you how to suck eggs, but I'll show you some of the decisions I've made, maybe some of the little hints and tips, and then give you some guidance as to where else you can go to get some different opinions and to figure it out for yourself. I don't think there's any right and wrong answer when it comes to insulation, other than you absolutely want to make sure that you keep your van as warm as you possibly can, or cool in the summer, and then also to make sure that you definitely consider Vapour and what that can do to either the insulation or the internal of your van. So with those bits in mind, I'll show you where I'm at. Oh, and I forgot to mention, make sure you do attach your noise dampening pads to the sides of your panels, giving them a good rub with the tool provided to make sure that you reduce that rattle as much as possible before you add any insulation. Good shot, Stanley. Cutting slightly larger than what you probably will need. But nothing a good shot Stanley won't solve. There we go. And then we're looking to achieve something within this kind of remit. good thing about this kind of insulation, it's got lots of little squares all over it, so really easy to try and follow a line without needing a straight edge or anything like that. We've obviously got some bumps here, you know, things like that. You could work around that if you really, really wanted to. And then we've got some areas in here which quite clearly we won't be able to get that in. But yeah, we're trying to work around this as much as we possibly can. Taking off a little bit of the backing to get it into position. And then peeling that away once you know you're in the right spot. But ultimately what we're trying to achieve is a piece that covers as much as possible of these panels. We know we're not going to get in here. We'll use some recycled plastic insulation, a little bit like loft roll in there, and we'll get that all the way in. And then also you know, these places here where we've got these rigid supports, we need to keep those free so that we can then Celotex up and around and over all of that. But we'll do our best with all of this, but we will try and cover as much as we possibly can for that continuity as much as possible. As you can see, I've got the dense foam insulation here, sticky backed. You'll see it's pretty much there or thereabouts on the majority of the panel and the bits that I could get to. Hoping to create that sort of barrier to any air and vapour getting in and moving around. And then I've got this gap. So if I measure this gap is 50mm pretty much between the panel and the framework, but it does shrink to 40mm at this point where the panel is got a small sort of line kink running over it externally and internally. So what I'm trying to achieve here, and I've done this one here, is I am looking to fill all of that space. So I've cut that one. I'm not going to get too anal about these little recess angled parts because I'll put a piece in here. However, what I have done is, knowing that that's going to be quite tight and this is pretty much unforgiving, is I have had to bang that in and knock that in, and I'll show you how I do that. But it's on the basis that I want it to be snug. I'm not really interested in cutting a small amount out of the board unless I have to on that face, because I know it will go. It's only that small bit. But however, I'm looking for as tight a fit as I can, and it allows me then to make good here, needing to get some soft insulation into there, some recycled plastics so it won't rot. And also down into the recesses that you can see there, down into the gullies. Make sure that we create a continuous envelope of insulation. I can tape this up then after. Okay, you'll see that's my saw line, and we should be able to make this good. Well, I've worked around some of the awkward bits. I was hoping to get the PIR behind there, but it just wouldn't go. So I've had to trim it and put some of the loft roll insulation in, soft insulation. Tuck that all into the edges. Make sure that's nice and tight. Not too tight though, because this insulation is brought about by the air that it traps. And then I'm just going to tape up all of this to make sure it doesn't fall out, doesn't move. I'm going to tape over this join as well. Wherever there's a join, I'll tape it, including the loft roll. Try and ensure continuity of the barrier, and also level of rigidity that tick together properly. And as I go, I'll fill the sills. I will ensure that tapes across all of that to make sure that none of that can move. Bring it together with the Celotex. And then I'll progress all the way around the van of where I've not got windows. Need to put the windows in here. And then take it from there. But now I know I've not got any surfaces, if you like, I need to run across here, but I can run them in the sills, and I can run them across the top in the well that's will be above the window, if you like. So I'll keep that free for now, but I know I'm not going to need to put anything in there yet, or at all even, unless something changes. So I might need to do that, but just in case. But likelihood is that's just going to get some of the loft roll inside, and just help to finish off the bottom of it, bring it together with the floor. What I'm trying to achieve here is, I realise this centre pillar is pretty deep, and therefore impacts the van if you were to follow the outermost line with your cladding or whatever it is that you want to do. So my aim is to keep this probably a little bit exposed, and to work towards the majority of the rest of the van. I want to try and retain as much width as I possibly can, and in doing so then, therefore, I'll work towards here as a depth. So I've got this far. We are a board in, but I just wanted to show you what I've been doing here. So you could sculpture a piece of PIR to fit in there. That would need to be a bit narrower, so you'd have to cut down it. However, I just don't think it's worth it once you've compromised the PIR to that point, and trying to get the shapes to meet. It's very difficult, so I'm using the recycled loft roll in the gap, but you will see I've stuffed it into every single available space as possible, working my way all the way around, and then with that in there, we can continue to make sure that there's as few, if any, cold spots. I've minimised the sculpting. You'll see I have cut around these corners, but I've tried not to do anything too difficult, because again, you'll get as much right as you get wrong. So it's just a case of making sure that you tape it properly, making sure that you've got the insulation roll in there as much as you possibly can if you need to, and the rest will sort itself out. Oh, what a miserable day. That's the end of episode 3, all about insulation. I know that was the general stuff, and I will do some little snippets on how to get into things like the top of the cab, maybe around the door, you know, all those things that are a little bit more awkward and take a little bit more time to explain, but hopefully that was of some help. In the links I have included some of the YouTube videos that I've watched. There's many an opinion on insulation, and hopefully that helps you to round it, make a decision, and decide how you want to do yours. But thanks again for watching. If you appreciate it, let me know with a like or a comment, and don't forget to follow me because I've got loads more to come. Thanks a lot. Goodbye.